Germany's biggest importer of Russian gas, Uniper, said on Monday that Gazprom sent it a letter which claims force majeure, events beyond its control, as the reason for past and current shortfalls in gas deliveries. The company had previously reduced gas deliveries through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline to Germany by up to 60% last month. The Russian majority state-owned company claimed technical issues, but German politicians say the decision was made by the Kremlin to push up energy prices. In Canada, the government has faced a backlash for its decision to send a repaired turbine for the Russian Nord Stream 1 pipeline back to Germany. Critics say the move will help support Russia's economy during the war in Ukraine. Well, with us now to discuss the issue of energy security is Dr. Heather Exner-Pirot. She is a senior fellow at the Macdonald-Laurier Institute and a global fellow at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars in Washington, D.C. Ma'am, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with an overview of the turbine delivery for viewers who may not be familiar with the situation.
Yes, these are essential in the functioning of Nord Stream, the pipeline that carries gas from Russia to Europe to Germany. And it was undergoing regular maintenance. There was suspicions that Russia would use it as an excuse to cut off. Obviously, they're weaponizing their energy sources to Europe and use it as an excuse. It was important to Germany that we return this turbine after it was repaired in Canada so that they don't have that excuse, which Canada did, suffering the backlash because it did violate our own sanctions. And now Russia's declared force majeure, so they found other excuses to cut off gas to Germany.
So what sort of reasons did the federal government give for sending parts back to Germany?
This is a difficult decision. This is not a black and white decision in that Germany needs gas, just like we all do. Germany needs energy and is very dependent on Russia. And how they got themselves into this situation, we can have a discussion on that. But in the short term, German economy, the European Union needs that gas. And so they need that Nord Stream 1 to be functioning properly. And they need Russia to be sending them that gas. So Germany asked Canada, I think, politically, this is a difficult move for Canada, but Germany needs it. They asked Canada, they're one of our best allies. The United States has supported it. Obviously, Russia or Ukraine is furious, though, because we are violating the sanctions. Russia is violating international law, is committing war crimes against Ukraine. And here we are facilitating their energy exports. So it's a very difficult decision. It's not black and white. I don't think it's a simple choice that the government had in front of it. And I can see both sides of the issue. But regardless, those turbines did not stop Russia from weaponizing their energy against Europe.
All right, Ms. Exner-Pirot. Now, what do we know so far about the scale of oil and gas export profits for the Russian government, considering this war in Ukraine and the sanctions against this country?
Well, the important thing is that oil prices are up very high. Now gas prices are up very high, double, triple, quadruple what they were, say, 18 months ago. And so Russia, like Alberta, like Canada, is seeing a windfall. And this, of course, is enabling it to fund its war, last longer and kind of a war of attrition that's coming up. So Russia's benefiting in every kind of way right now. But in the medium term, in the next few months, those sanctions will start to bite. Right now, they haven't had the effect that we want to see. But in the next couple of months, when they do have more restrictions on what they can import, when they have their own maintenance to do, then there will be some pain for Russia coming up soon. But right now, they're still raking in the oil money.
All right, and bringing this back home to Canada, how can our country aid our European allies regarding their energy supply?
So the turbine issue is a short-term immediate issue. And the bigger question we need to ask ourselves is, how do we get into this situation where we were so dependent on Russia, where we didn't have any options, and what could Canada have done differently, and what can we do differently now? And so the number one answer is to get more of our product. We are rich in oil and gas reserves, to get that product to Germany, to get it to Europe, so that they can get off of Russian oil and gas, and so that they can still have a functioning economy, functioning industry, and be able to heat their homes at a reasonable, affordable price. So the answer is obvious, is that we need to get off of Russian oil and gas. We cannot transition, into totally renewable energy in this short time frame. And so Canadian oil and gas has to fill some of that void. And I'm hoping Ottawa starts to see it that way. We've maybe heard some whispers that they're thinking that way, but no concrete action yet.
All right, a quick 30 seconds left here. But do you think these steps would also enhance Canada's own energy security?
If we started exporting, yes, we have a tremendous, see how Russia is using their oil and gas to advance their political ends. And they have political values and ends that are not the same as ours. But we have that same amount of oil and gas. We could be using our energy to advance our own values and our own interests and being a force for good in the world. Instead, we've left everyone vulnerable, to these dictatorships and authoritarian regimes. And we're all reaping kind of the repercussions of that now.
Dr. Exner-Pirot, thank you again for an informative interview.
Thank you for having me.